Good rising, God family. I have another parable I'd like to share with you. This parable is what used to be the shield and sword parable, but now, due to all of the revelations I have gathered since I have been speaking and all of the things that they have inspired and given rise to, I'm going to now change it up officially to the shield and armor and sword parable, or to summarize it, to make it sound more effective in its titling, the shield, armor, and sword parable. To make its title more effective, I'm going to title it The Shield, Armor, and Sword Parable. I need to share this parable with you. I also want to share an opinion on Donald Trump's situation, as well as I want to give an MLK March X 1,000 cents on Brother Nuri Muhammad's new information, or the information that he revealed in regards to the wheel. I want to speak on that as well after this parable. But first, this parable. This parable is partially and or mildly inspired by a gentleman who I used to respect very, very, very much. And that now that I fully grasp the concept of the war that we are in, one who I desire to admire once again, as well as every single individual person on this planet, very, very, very much. Stop losing lives. Stop dying. This person's name is Jordan B. Peterson. Why did I lose respect for Jordan B. Peterson? Because he resides too much on the physical. No one alive is a minority, Jordan. I lost all respect for you when you said that. Why did I lose all respect for you? Because there's still a core piece of you that wishes to practice the whole white supremacy game. It's a game, Jordan. But here, moving forward, never gonna forgive you, by the way. You've already been forgiven by something else. I don't need to forgive you. I just want you to do better. I'm gonna obligate you to do it. I'm just gonna obligate you to do better. You and everybody else alive. I just target people like you for an example. But here's how this parable is partly inspired by Jordan B. Peterson, because he said these words out loud once. He said, "Those who have swords and know how to use them, yet keep them sheathed, shall inherit the earth." Those words right there. Because he said that those words, when he said them, were inspired by the biblical title, or the biblical word of the meek shall inherit the earth. The meek shall inherit the earth. What Jordan Peterson said, those who have swords and know how to use them, yet keep them sheathed, shall inherit the earth. Those words are going to stick with me for a good, powerfully balanced while there. But then it's like the generator of the words. The generator of the words. You got a lot to learn, as we all do, so let's learn it now. Let's learn together, because you know a lot of things I don't know, and I just so happen to have found out a lot of things you didn't know. But it makes no difference, because we're all in the same fight together at the end of the day. I'm just taking advantage of it, so I can try to stop more people from dying, like people in France. Did you hear about the artificial cyclone that went down in France that killed thousands? That's what they reported. It just killed thousands. Moving forward, though. So, those who have swords and know how to use them. This is the shield, armor, and sword parable, and I'm changing it to the shield, armor, and sword parable from the shield and sword parable that it originally was, due to all the revelations that have come out recently. My dear God family, as these words are pouring in, the knowledge and or information sounds and or is becoming so magnificent to have in my possession. And now I want everybody to have it in their possession. Why? Because this knowledge, these secrets, this God's truth, what's beyond the sigillum Dei myth, it is strong enough to wipe all things evil completely out of reality permanently. It is strong enough to destroy and or remove all things keeping anything enslaved to anyone or anything in all horizons completely from existence. That's why I want to talk about it. Because the thing is, if this truth had more chance to bore into the heart mind spaces of the people of the world. What just happened in France and what just happened in Haiti and what just went down in Haiti wouldn't have happened. What went down in Haiti? Just recently, there was another gang war. Someone mistaken in someone for putting out voodoo on the people, but then in reality, it could have just been the intervention of those recessive people playing the game of the white supremacy, trying to ensure nothing but chaos is going down in Haiti. You could go through and stop the chaos from going, but instead you're making sure more goes down. This is why the president was assassinated in 2021. What did you think was going to happen to the good people, to the good Haitian people, if you kill their positive leadership while they are surrounded by more chaotic leadership than anything positive or balanced? They're going to become chaotic. This is why you drove them into poverty. Look at what's happening over in France. Look at what's happening in Haiti. There's still 20 million people displaced in Congolese. There's still 20 million Congolese displaced. But then we still got this whole migrant crisis in America to worry about though, huh? And yet these people are trying to have babies and use a natural way of living to take us all over. And then the thing is, what gave them this so-called ability to take over these American policies or American land or what have you? What gave them the chance they needed to get in here? People like Kamala Harris. Why? Or people like Joe Biden. Why? Want to know why? Because they ain't serving themselves. Nobody on the planet is. You want to know what everybody on the planet is serving? They are serving a way to survive. The devil's games. That's what you are doing. You are serving the devil. Everyone alive by accident, not knowing that they are. Want to know why you're serving the devil? Because of this gigantical fake platform we were all forced to grow up on globally. Why were we all forced to grow up on it? The same answer. Because of the recessive people globally for 6,000 years now have been building the platform for it. What is it? The devil. Your shadow government. The government. See, here's the thing about the people, like who is soon going to be a really good brother, Jordan B. Peterson. Here's the thing about the game that we are on top of, should I say then. Here's the thing about it. The recessive people were stolen from us. It's the same story. We're a group of people stolen from ours and grafted into theirs. Everything humanoid came from us. We are a lot older than people believe we are. We are a lot older. You don't have to buy it, man. It's just an origin story that makes sense. It's an origin story that makes sense. Why are things the way they are today? These words together make sense as to why they could be. And then the more I speak on these things, the more I recognize, the more ancient secrets are beginning to rise up and reveal how right I actually am here. And due to these secrets beginning to rise up, like for example, the information on quantum, I never even had that information until it began to surface. I never had the information on quantum. I knew of an outer edge of the universe and the powers that that were in there, because the firmament is the outer edge of the universe. Knew that for quite a while. But did I know it was the quantum loca? No, I did not. But the outer edge of the firmament just so happens to be the quantum loca, according to the information I've studied. Or should I say the outer edge of the universe, because the firmament is the outer edge of the universe. The firmament is the outer edge of the universe, according to what I've studied. You may find something different when you research it, but what I found was that the firmament is also the outer edge of the known universe, the entire infinite galaxy itself. And in the outer edge of the universe is what is known as the quantum loca, or quantum zone, or quantum realm, or quantum mind. And the quantum mind just so happens to also be the highest mind outside of this physical reality. Those who have swords and know how to use them, yet keep them sheathed, shall inherit the earth. The recessive people have been getting used by the devil for the past 6,000 years to destroy our lives. This is why our lives are destroyed to this day. They are not going to stop because the devil is not going to stop. They are not going to stop doing what they are doing because the devil won't stop doing what they're doing. So this shield and sword parable, or should I say this shield, armor, and sword parable, is going to give a way to label and describe how we stop them from doing what they are doing. Because here's the reality. We don't even have to stop them. We just have to stop what is making them do it, while stopping them simultaneously. Because let's not forget, they are still the sword being bored in. And Jordan B. Peterson, unfortunately, is a constituent of the sword. So let's talk about it now, without further ado. So the shield, armor, and sword parable. Before I go in, what does the armor make up? The armor makes up the positive energy of the universe, or the quantum mind. The shield makes up the balanced energy of the universe, or the astral realm. And the sword makes up the active energy of the universe, or the negative energy. What's in control of the negative energy? The devil. In this parable, though, the said sword was broken from the armor and crafted into a sword. The sword was broken off of the armor and crafted into a sword. At first, it was just armor and shield, or just full armor. According to all that I've studied, it was just the full armor of God at first, and nothing else but the full armor of God. But the sword was broken from the armor by the devil and crafted into a sword, into the living sword that it is. And what does the sword consist of? Racism, feminism, and foul sexual behavior. Racism, feminism, and foul sexual behavior. This is what the sword consists of. And this sword, this devil is using to bore into the family body's armor, through the armor. Let's not forget, the sword came from the armor, so the sword would have the abilities to pierce through it. The sword came from the armor, so the sword would have the abilities to pierce through it. And this is why the devil is this is how the devil, or this parable also labels and describes how the devil is using nature to attack nature, using nature to attack nature, using the divine nature of us all to attack the divine nature we all are, using the divine nature that we are to attack and put down the divine nature we are. And this sword here is being bored into the family body with the armor on their body, and or the shield in their arm, bored into them and driving them into the ground and pinning them down with this sword consisting of racism, feminism, and foul sexuality. Now, you may see more problems in the world accumulating, but from what I'm gathering, the root source of all problems in the world are those three things: racism, feminism, and foul sexual practices or foul sexual behaviors, perverted sexual behavior, evil sexual behavior. This is what I'm noticing as the main three problems of the world today: feminism, racism, and foul sexuality. Moving forward. So, the devil is using this sword. The devil is using this sword that it crafted from our armor. The devil is using this sword that it crafted from our armor. And in the devil's hands, this sword has the ability to extend so far and long, and that it can bore through the hearts of the family body it is boring into and stabbing into and cutting into, that it can extend through the very planet itself and or the very foundation of the planet itself. So not only is it taking out the conscious mind, because here's the reality: the family body with the armor is the conscious mind in this parable, and the subconscious mind is the planet, the foundation in this parable. And right now, the devil cutting in by way of the desire to destroy life and the abilities to live them accurately, to stab into the foundation. And now that the foundation is being stabbed into, the devil is turning it all into war, hatred, division, and stagnance. With one sword, three main traits: racism, feminism, and foul sexuality. You may see more, but at its core, that's what I see. At the core, that's what I see. Those three problems there. And that is the sword boring into us all globally. Now, the armor that we are wearing, or the being within the armor, due to the sword stabbing into it, has the being sleep, knocked out cold, right? And the foundation that the being is laying out upon poisoned all throughout due to the sword stabbing into the foundation so thoroughly and extending as it is going and getting worse and worse and worse. Because don't forget, evil can only get worse over time. Evil cannot get better. Evil cannot get better at all. These people cannot be reasoned with. They only need to be stopped. They don't need to be reasoned with. They only need to be stopped. They don't need to be forgiven or consulted with. They only need to be stopped. They don't need to be peace treaty, no peace treaties, none of that stuff. The only thing we need to do is stop them. No forgiveness, stopping. But how do you stop them? Cut their power at its source. What is giving them the power to do what it is doing? I'm noticing in spirit how the devil is operating on these people, in which is giving them their powers to do what they are doing. So, the shield armor and sword parable. Here's the purpose for it. So, the family body has this ability to summon something in spirit to stop the devil from destroying its life. And from what I'm studying, like I said, I've drawn up so many ancient things. First off, I didn't necessarily know that my quote-unquote anger to see all things evil wiped clean from reality. I didn't necessarily know that my rage to rid the reality we are in of evil was going to draw up so many ancient secrets and whatnot to let me know exactly what I am actually doing here. Because the thing is, all of the secrets that are rising up are actually letting me know what I am actually doing here. Meaning it's giving me more strength and confidence to keep on doing it. So I'm going to do that by any moral means necessary. Just going to keep helping everyone in reality rid everything in reality of evil. Back to the parable now. So, now that I know what I am telling you, I'm going to tell you more in the right way to tell you, and only the right way. You cannot pay me to mislead you. You cannot pay me to betray you. You cannot pay me to let you down. You couldn't do it. So, the sword is being bored into the family body while it has the armor on and the shield in hand. But the shield is still the balance energy, don't forget that. But here's the thing though, as the sword is being bored in and it is putting the family body with the armor on into a sleeping and or dead disposition, poisoning the foundation every single day that the sword drives deeper into the family body. What does the family body consist of? The foundation, the gangsters, the tribes, and the religions. Of course, it's the same story. Not going to change it up. Moving forward though. So as the family body has the sword being bored into it, the family body's foundation begins to activate its immortal capabilities. Because right now, the family body is sleeping. The God that is being driven, has the sword being driven through his heart, is sleeping right now. Because the devil knocked it out so it would sleep. Because the devil is the dumbest evil imaginable, and it just wants to destroy our life. And it is doing so with the sword it crafted from our armor, our body, our vessel, because we are one with the armor of God, and the armor of God is one with us. Ephesians 6:11. That's also what this is inspired from. Ephesians chapter 6:11. So, the devil is boring the sword into us, sleeping. So then the family body then activates something inside of it to prepare for something different to go down. You want to know what it's activating? So, I'm born again to do something in spirit known as summoning the I, Father God body. Or you can say summoning the Christ Father God body in spirit is what I am doing. Meaning I am coming with a different foundation, a double foundation, a foundation consciously of peace, respect, balance, and progression, and a foundation subconsciously of peace, love, unity, and advancement. This is what I am doing in a literal sense. I'm just putting a foundation into the world, a conscious natural foundation of peace, respect, balance, and progression, and a subconscious natural foundation of peace, love, unity, and advancement. In other words, I am bringing awareness to the same morals and or principle standards that our ancestors have been telling us to live by. The same one way our ancestors have been telling us to live by for the past 40 years. The same way our ancestors have been telling us to live for the past 400 years. The same way our ancestors have been telling us to live for the past 4,000, 400,000, or 40,000, then 400,000, then 4 million, and so on and so forth. Ever since the dawn of our existence, and ever since before the stars themselves, this has been the right way for us to live since then. And it just so happens that I found these things out because I was overwhelmingly angry and ready to get rid of all evil from our reality. And I just found out how I could do it. I just simply found out how I can get rid of all evil within our reality for all good and for all eternity. I just found out how to do it. And it just so happens that it's a way to live that our ancestors have been telling us to do since the dawn of existence, since the dawn of reality, technically. Because let's not forget, to tell someone to do anything or to tell anything to be, where does it start? The mind on down. And then from the mind on out. So meaning we have been getting told to live this way before reality even started. In a sense, this is why it's going to work so effectively once you all get what I am actually saying to you. If you can deal with all the things you see before you and only take the message. Don't take what the person is and or what the person is doing. You don't want to be like me. You don't want to be what I am. Not right now, currently, especially. But this message I got, though, this world-changing double foundation reinstillment that's going to manifest into reality if I reinstall the foundation properly. This idea, take it. I pray you do. You can't steal a universal idea, can you? Is it possible to steal a universal idea? If it is, what you gonna do with it? Something universal? All it's gonna do is lead us all to global soul liberation and global child manumission. That's all you're gonna do with it. You'll see. Here, I'm gonna finish my parable now. So, I'm going to endure the family body is naturally summoning something in spirit through me. And it's called the Christ Father God body. Or at least that's what I'm going to call it. The Christ Father God body. So here's the scenario. The Christ Father God body gets summoned. Analyze the situation. Might I add you, this here figure known as the Christ body is a God of wrath, and a God of pride, and a God of balance, all in one. And I am summoning this entity into your spirits. And he's going to take all of the 7 deadly sins and use them for a positive reason to end this devil. Here's more detail of this spiritual parable I'm telling you. What is a parable, by the way? A parable is a short story used to label and describe moral and or spiritual upliftance. And where am I trying to spiritually uplift you all to? An infinite dimensional thinking mind. No longer just a 9-dimensional. I'm aware of how the infinite dimensional thinking mind works. And the infinite dimensional thinking mind just so happens to be the quantum mind. Or should I say the ID mind just so happens to be the quantum mind. Just so happens. And the 9-dimensional thinking mind just so happens to be the quantum mind, subconscious mind. Because our highest conscious mind is of the quantum mind. Our highest conscious mind is of the quantum mind. And our highest subconscious mind is of the nirvana. The outer edge of the universe and the inner edge of the universe. The inner edge of the universe is the beginning of the astral realm. And the quantum, where the outer edge of the universe is where the power comes from. Through the inner edge of the universe to give power through the astral. And the astral is also the Christ body. Christ's body is the astral realm. The entirety of the astral realm is Christ's body. And that is what I am summoning in spirit. And it is going to have a real serious anger complex. But it's going to be for balance, and it's going to be for good, and it's going to be out of real love only. Literal love. Honest to God, literal love. This is the parable I'm telling you now. And this here, Christ's body, is going to have 6 different arms, like a Sora from the Sora's Wrath video game or something. Because remember, this is all one big game that the white supremacy is playing. It's all just a game, so I'm going to play one as well. I'm just going to play it my way, spiritually. So, in this here spiritual game, I'm going to summon a Sora's Wrath in spirit. But a Sora is going to actually be, in reality, or in spiritual, parabolic reality, Christ's body. And it's going to have Christ's conscious mind, Christ's subconscious mind, and Christ's non-physical body. And Christ's form within spirit is going to be able to sprout 6 different arms. How is it going to play out in reality, those 6 arms I just mentioned? Going to be every melanated American gang united. Or every melanated gangster within this country united. Or every melanated gangster within this continent united. Essentially. That's what my 6 arms are going to bring me. Meaning my 6 arms of Christ. That's what I'm going to ultimately call my gangster projects. My gangster project is essentially a hidden project, but it's honestly one of the tools I'm going to use to dismantle belief system pillar 5. Or the artificial ethnic temple number 5. The gangsters. The 6 arms of Christ parable. My 6 arms. In other words, I'm going to depict melanated gangs into Al-Kelbulan's greatest defenders. It's just a way, just an idea. I got a lot of faith in the gangs, man. I really do. If this idea works, if I can get it to your attention the right way, when it registers with thine mind heart space, what it will push you and or inspire you to do next will be outstanding. You'll bring peace to a lot of the people within a lot of our neighborhoods. Then on top of that, these Venezuelan gangs that are in your country causing so much mayhem due to the sword being bored into the family body currently, you'll actually do what you originally initiated to do. Stop them from bringing chaos into your hood. To every melanated gangster in this continent, did you know this entire continent is your hood? All of us together, all of we together, all of you together. This entire continent is your hood. You can see it as such because it's true. Take care of it like it is, because it is so your own, your hood. And all of this chaos is happening in your hood. Moving forward with the parable now. So, here's why it's happening. Because the devil boring the sword into the family body is ensuring that it'll keep happening. And then that sword is also boring not through just the family body, conscious mind, but also the foundation that the family body stood upon, the planet, subconscious mind. And the sword is boring so deeply, like that August character from the Sora's Wrath game. It's boring so deeply and through the body and the mind, or through the body and the subconscious, or through the mind and the subconscious mind, that it is piercing through the planet itself. Just using parables and references to label and describe something that can or will coexist with our reality that we are in, with the reality that we are in. If this is making sense to you. So, ultimately, I summon this Christ body in spirit. Christ body sprouts all 6 arms like the Shiva destroyer god, goes over to the devil, beats everything wrong out of its face for quite a while with all 6 hands, and then kicks the devil off of the sword. Virtually all of our problems are stopped right there. However, we're not done yet. All 6 arms, all 6 hands, grab this sword at once and pull it out. And then sheathe it to get ready to inherit the earth. As far as the family body, we're going to refuse with it to become the mighty symbol of God that we once were. But we're not done yet. Next, let's take the sword with this upgraded body and unsheathe it. And then we're going to use the sword and cut the devil in two. Meaning the influence that got you all doing the wrong things you are doing. Because once the devil's influence is completely stopped and removed from you, what ultimately happens is you do the right thing and the right thing only. You want to know another thing this parable is going to do if you allow it to register? Destroy all of your artificial spirits and all of your artificial emotions. Did you know the word destroy? A literal definition for it, meaning one other of the definitions for it, is to ruin someone spiritually or emotionally. So that means ruin someone in their artificial masculine ego and or their artificial feminine ego. Because you only got 2 types of egos, a masculine one and a feminine one, and they both need to be destroyed completely. That's the spiritual works though. Soulfully, your spiritual emotions. Your artificial emotions, not spiritual, because spiritual is natural. Your artificial emotions need to be destroyed as well. And the thing is, your artificial emotions are the foundation of the world you stand on. Because everything about this world only remains due to how you feel about it. Only. You're dead upstairs completely. I just labeled and described the parable. You're completely knocked out upstairs, Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. You're completely knocked out upstairs, so the foundation is the main thing that I can fix on right now. But the thing is, the foundation is going to give me the chance, by trying to fix the foundation or install my foundation, it's going to give me a chance to summon Christ's body with all of its wrath and glory on the internal side. It's perfect amount of wrath and glory. It's necessary evil in a sense. Necessary evil. I'm going to type to fight fire with fire, long story short as well. I'm the type to do that and be proud to do so. Because I know what's going to happen if I do so. Especially if my fire is bigger than yours. And it has a way to be something other than fire. It could be water or wind or earth. Or it can be all of them at once. This is all spiritual works, but it's going to manifest in the physical once it all settles within you properly. This information, if it resettles properly, it will manifest into the physical properly. Meaning if these God's kingdom parables resettle into you properly, they will manifest into the physical properly. So, shield and sword parable, or shield, armor, and sword parable. Let's continue it so I can finish it and talk about other things like Nuri Muhammad and Donald Trump's situation. It's going to be quite a long video again. Unfortunately, I don't be meaning to, but it's just a lot to talk about. So, here you go. Once the Christ body is summoned spiritually, it's going to be full of wrath and full of anger and full of rage, unfortunately. And it's all going to be full of pride for what it had once before. You're going to be scared of it. So what? It's going to stop the devil from destroying our lives. And it's also going to stop more people like the people who in France who got killed by that artificial cyclone. It's going to stop things like that from happening ever again. You could have stopped it just recently, but instead you did nothing. Why? Because you wanted it to happen. Whatever people were responsible for that artificial cyclone, you are responsible for the lives of thousands, according to what the article said about France losing those people. They shouldn't have lost those people. I can tell why they might have lost them, though, because they all just went on a massive riot throughout the entire country, which is the same thing we're going to have to do to get Donald Trump in the office, which is another thing I wanted to talk about in regards to why I'm mentioning France. You're going to have to go on a massive riot to get Donald Trump into that office. Y'all are going to have to. Most likely you are. Stop being afraid. These parables and these words are going to help you stop being so. Donald Trump is going to do a lot of things to bring a lot of things back to normal. But the thing is, if you all don't do more to protect him and ensure he gets a chance to do so, what's ultimately going to happen is that he will be assassinated. They want to kill this man. Did you not see them try 3 times? 3. And they also try more times on Ibrahim Traore, I just recently learned of. Look at how much chaos is going on in this world. What's in charge of this world wants chaos to ensue more than order, more than balance. This double foundation that I'm putting into the spirit, it can stop this from happening. I'm just going to finish talking about it now. So, the Christ Father body, summoned in spirit, sees the devil, socks it 6 times, all arms, and kicks it off the Father body. It got his hands off of the sword, pull the sword out of the body with all 6 arms, sheathe it with 3. Pick the family body up. Re-merge with me now. Global unity. Become unstoppable. We are now at full power and can now wield the sword the same way the devil was wielding it. Because we've accepted all parts of ourselves and we have worked out all the differences and all what's wrong and things of that nature. And we are now back together as one giant family, one soul tribe, one God tribe, one quantum tribe if you want to. Quantum tribe? Yeah. We are an astounding people. We really are. Then we unsheathe the sword. Yeah, Jordan B. Peterson's parable is still there. But Brother Peterson, we are at war. This demon needs to be put down permanently. So I'm going to unsheathe you all, Jordan B. Peterson, after I sheathe you and use you to cut the devil in half and then use you to stab into the foundation that you force us all to build, including yourselves. How many people are going to die in this situation here? As many people as you allow. Because my desires involve no one dying at all. Because ultimately what I need to do is spiritually uplift every single person on the planet into an infinite dimensional thinking mind and or a 9-dimensional thinking mind. This is what I have to do. What you feel like you have to do is serve the devil. So if my goals work, you stop doing that and join us by force. So you can be used as a sword you were destined to be used for. Cut the devil in half and then blow up the foundation we're standing on. What's going to happen if we blow up the foundation we're standing on? First of all, if we cut the devil in half, we ruin the artificial spirits that are in our conscious minds, meaning our masculine egos and feminine egos die, all of them. Then if we stab you into the foundation you were forced to build, or you forced us to build for you, to and through us, it blows up and then the natural one takes over, meaning the double foundation that I introduced to you in the first place. Want to know what happens after that? We dismantle the sword. Then what we do after we dismantle the sword, Project 12, we put it back where it belonged or where it came from. It's the same story. But here's the thing though. When I unsheathe the sword from the soul's body as it is boring into them, what am I going to actually free up? The tribes and the religions. Because the foundation, what does the foundation consist of before I miss this point? Then I'm going to talk to Nuri Muhammad for a moment. The foundation consists of every melanated rich, every melanated middle class, and every melanated poverty-stricken person worldwide. So yeah, everybody who's in Hollywood, all of you, my brethren, making these songs, you need to realize and recognize all the songs you were pushed to make were to help the sword bore in further. You follow what I'm saying? It helped the sword bore in more. So you can rewrite these wrongs. You can rewrite them all. Come from this double foundation. Stem from this double foundation if you desire to. All it's going to do is balance your mind out and give you more creative ideas to elicit to the world, or to give to the world, or to give to the spiritual foundation of the world. The stronger the foundation, the stronger we are. The faster we wake up and refuse with Christ's body. Because that's what I'm summoning in spirit, Christ's body. I just found out that I'm working some kind of ancient practice and I didn't even know I was necessarily working it. I was just really pissed off that evil exists. And I just want to destroy it completely. And I figured out how I can do that in every way possible. Every way possible. So I'm going to keep doing it. Moving forward. So now, we refuse what the family body, the Christ body does. We refuse what the family body, the Christ body does. Meaning, and essentially the shield is just, I'm going to just say the Christ body is refused, because let's never forget, the family body holds both the shield and the armor at the same time, meaning the devil has everything pinned down. So I can't just say the shield is separated off the body. No, it's still on them, because we still know what's going on, don't we? Just a few other capabilities that the family body has that doesn't necessarily involve a weapon. Take all of that with you. Everything, man, just grow from it. Here, more things. So, the power of duplication, because it's the family body and the Christ body and the physical body, or reality, that the parables are labeling and describing. Two things in one situation, trying to stop another thing from using something, from destroying the most majorly important thing of all. Every melanated man, woman, and child on this family, on this planet, BKA the family body. The gangsters, tribes, and the religions, and as well as all of Ye who are within the foundation, the nerd and or geek culture, the rich, the middle class, the poor, the people in Hollywood, the melanated people of Hollywood. Once you all know better, you do better, long story short, moving forward. So, after we destroy the devil, cut it in half and watch it disintegrate, I don't care if it's immortal or not, we're just going to subjugate it. We destroy the foundation so the natural one can reclaim its own, resettle internally. Then it begins to manifest into the physical. Meaning you are all returning to your senses and coming home. Home liberation. But see, here's the thing though, Nuri Muhammad. I heard you talk about Nibiru, I believe you said in this one video on I Never Knew TV, right? I've studied that story, brother. I've studied that story quite well, and quite honestly, I must say to myself, we are not going to be the ones to set the world on fire. As I said, when we physically come to our senses, what knocked us out of them will be right there to stop us from going all the way back into them. Now, when I studied this story that I'm getting ready to talk to you about, Brother Nuri Muhammad, it was called the Ezekiel Wheel. I remember it was being called the Ezekiel Wheel. Now you probably see where I'm getting ready to go. What is it going to take to be time for the Ezekiel Wheel to show up? What is it going to take to manifest the time? Spiritually uplifting every single person on the planet at the same time into the highest spiritual vibration possible. The infinite dimensional thinking mind. That's the ultimate goal I have there. Ultimate goal, spiritually uplifting everybody at the same time. That's the goal I have. And once everybody gets to that way of thinking, according to your story, I'm gonna incorporate it just to throw a MLK March X 1,000 cents on it and tell you that, you know what, man, I don't necessarily buy it all the way. I don't. Reason why is because we're not going to be setting fire to the planet if the story is true. If this Ezekiel Will story of yours is true, it ain't going to be us setting fire to this planet. I guarantee you that. I guarantee you it ain't going to be us. This is what I'm ultimately getting at. Because in your Ezekiel Will story, you said that our people that the oppressive body considers as UFOs. There are no UFOs and or aliens at all. There are just more of we, logically speaking. They are just more of we, logically speaking. Why are they not helping us right now? Why aren't all the tribes helping us right now? There are 5,000 of them in total on the planet and 3,000 in Africa alone, all comprising of about 2 to 3 to 20 million people apiece. Way more than America has alone. And all America does to their fellow kind is beat and enslave them to suffering to death. They just do it in a real crafty way to bore that sword into our family body's chest. Keep it pinned down to the false foundation forever. So, Brother Nuri Muhammad, according to the Ezekiel Will story, here's what I see here. Once everybody truly, meaning every melanated man, woman, and child on this planet, comes to full control and or full awareness of themselves, the oppressive body is going to set the world on fire, i.e. nuclear wars. Or they may try to, should I say. This is just something I'm seeing. So a way that I see that this can possibly be stopped is if we restore balance into the conscious mind by force, and restore love into the foundation by force. But see, the thing is, it's not even necessarily going to be by force. I'm just going to destroy what's keeping the wrong things there so the right things can just take over naturally. You follow what I'm saying? So in other words, I'm just about to be on some destroy for quite a long time next year. And I look forward to those moments because those are my empathetic narcissistic moments. Because here's the reality, Brother Nuri Muhammad. You are me, I am you, and we are one and the same thing. So the devil having you pinned down with racism, feminism, and foul sexual behaviors is what has me pinned down with the same dang thing. Racism especially. And feminism especially. Now, I don't look too much into that third one. But just those first two, most definitely. It's terrible. And we can get out of it, man. But the Ezekiel Will story, do I believe it's possibly going to happen? Yes and no. But only no because we ain't setting nothing on fire. We not shooting nothing. We not nuking nothing. I guarantee you we are not. The only reason why we are even fighting each other at all, Brother Nuri Muhammad, is because what the recessive people have been driven to teach us for the past 6,000 years. And we both know these things. I kind of want to spiritually clash with you in a way. No beef. I just want the people to see us talking about something together in a spiritual back and forth sense, because it'll provide so much positive nourishment and balanced nourishment unto anyone who all listens. Meaning, I'm going to say things conversively back and forth with you that'll be for the well-being of every single individual in existence that listens. Overwhelming amounts of healing power, double foundation, install, resettlement, take over, make everyone see the right time to be here. Make it the right time for the people of the Nibiru ship to see what's going on. Make it the right time. Because then simultaneously, due to the spiritual awakening taking so much advantage of human nature, the majority of the oppressive body that hears this will fall back. Here's another reason why I disagree with that statement. Because the thing is, if this works firmly and properly to the point where I really want to put the muscle into it, Brother Nuri Muhammad, what's going to ultimately happen is that the recessive people won't even push the button. They won't even push the button. It'll just be a handful of us that fight it out. Most likely, nobody won't even die on, honestly. We'll just scrap. Or we fighting. We gonna do something at the end. Something is going to happen. I'm gonna punch somebody. Somebody gonna get hit, man. Somebody about to get hit. Somebody gonna get laid out. Somebody is. It's gonna happen eventually because these people just really do not want us to live the right way. And we both know these things. We both know it. So, we kick the devil off of the sword's control. The sword retracts back to a regular size sword, back to one that we can control ourselves. Take the sword out of our pinned down family body individual and sheathe it. Get ready to use it again after we fuse, reawake, or the acceptance. It's all the same thing. All the same thing wrapped in one story. If you've been following anything I've been saying at all, it's all the same wrapped into one story. Like the reawakening, the reincarnation, the resurrection and renewal, all resettling, all wrapped up in the same story. It's all wrapped up in the same story. I'm just saying it in a different way. We're going to win, long story short. Moving forward. So, my thoughts on the Ezekiel Will, or the Planet Nibiru that Brother Nuri Muhammad was talking about on the I Never Knew TV channel or YouTube channel, when he was sharing his thoughts in the regard about the prophecy regarding the Ezekiel Will. This is what I studied when I saw it. It said the Ezekiel Will. You know this as well, though, but he was calling it a different name, like Nibiru Will. I didn't know they were one and the same. I thought it was just the Ezekiel Will, but maybe they are. Who knows? Moving forward, though. So in your story, it said that they were going to set the world on fire and rescue all the black people who are finally spiritually uplifted to the infinite dimensional thinking mind and ready to come home for home liberation. You said they were going to set the world on fire, but in reality, no. You want to know what's actually going to happen? Once we all get to truly spiritually uplift, they will just appear and be ready to ensure we are all worth defending for, truly. But the thing is, they don't know what's going on entirely, just like the tribes don't know what's going on entirely, which is what I was ultimately getting at, why I mentioned that earlier. The tribes don't even know what's truly going on entirely, because guess what? The oppressive body is pinning them down with the sword as well. And it's a lot of tribal people on this planet, isn't it? You want to know something like I said earlier? Everything that is going down is global. It's a global onslaught or global attack on every melanated man, woman, and child that exists. No, this is not about no racism or black and white. I don't see color or race. I see what things are doing to other things. And I see a way to stop certain things from doing certain things to other things. That's what I see. I'm just going to share the idea with you so that every single person on the planet can see things as they are doing things to other things and have what they need, nor have the capabilities, nor have the courage and the gauze, kill all your fears, execute all your worries, execute all your desires, execute all your anxiousnesses and your concerns, kill them all off, and you will see how to stop other things from doing other things to you. This is what I'm ultimately getting at here. Will not stop until it works. You cannot pay me to give up on you. I'm just saying everything I want to say right now. You cannot pay me to give up on you, but there's a reason why I wish to say them so desperately. You cannot pay me to give up on you. You couldn't pay me. Have you any idea how powerful we actually are? You're about to find out soon enough. Moving forward here. Brother Nuri Muhammad and Brother Donald Trump. If you all want Trump to get in this office to keep on playing these games, these presidential games and whatnot, versus focusing on the spirit soul, then do whatever you want. Because from the way I'm seeing it now, Donald Trump in actuality, here's the opinion that I wanted to share so much. Donald Trump in actuality is kind of sort of like what the root reasoning of Christmas actually is for. What do I mean by that? When you do some actual research on who and or what Satan is, and then you actually do some research on who and or what Krampus is, you actually do some research on who and or what Christ actually is, the universal powers that he is, and how he incarnated into Christ through Mary. Do some more research. There's also, I just learned of, there's an Hindu Vedic book. The name has slipped my mind. I just know it's a Hindu Vedic book. Here's what I'm ultimately getting at. Christ in that physical body lived to 80 years old. You have to find it. I'm going to make a short soon and bring you some awareness on exactly what the story's name is and just read the information I have from Wikipedia, so I'm not allowed to you. But Christ lived to 80 years old, and Christ should rule everything around us. But I get it. You want to keep on playing the game a little while longer, go ahead. But you're going to have to get Trump in the office by force, because the other group of people who want chaos like the devil wants through them ain't going to let up on putting chaos into the world, as you can clearly see. France, Haiti, Ibrahim Traore, the misplaced people in the Congolese, what's happening here with the migrant crisis. You follow what I'm saying? And then my eyes have lately been on Jamaica. I just been watching them, trying to see how the gangs are operating. The gangs are not making a lot of noise, but I'm sure if we was to actually find a way to get a closer eye in, we can see more things happening in Jamaica, where I'm going soon after America. I'm never going to stop until this works completely. This is freedom talk, complete and absolute entire freedom talk. Brother Nuri Muhammad, to finish and or land what I was getting ready to say to you. Once everybody is spiritually lifted to an infinite dimensional thinking mind, it will be time for the so-called mothership to arrive. So-called mothership, yeah. The Ezekiel will, from what I've studied, it's going to show up, put people into the ship, and carry them off of the planet, so that the white people who are extremely angry can then hide in their bunkers and nuke everything around. It is not going to be us that set this planet on fire. I just cannot believe that. I do not believe. I do have this idea that we can strike back and attack back. Yeah, I do have this idea, or do have this mentality, or do have this desire to see us do these things. However, we can do it in a way that prevents the planet from experiencing this damage. If you follow what I'm saying, we can prevent the planet from experiencing further poison. We can prevent the planet from experiencing this nuclear warhead that these people are obviously planning. Because the more you all wake up, the faster we are all waking up right now, which is, I'm pushing it in a way that's going to wake them up completely and entirely too, so they can think twice about nuking the planet. Because melanated people are going to obligate them to allow them to make a choice with their own life to live in peace. Because this is ultimately what we're gonna do is the right thing. Everybody alive currently is fighting for one thing without even realizing they're fighting for one thing: how to live the right way. You follow what I'm saying? Once we have this knowledge, Brother Nuri Muhammad, this prophecy may come true because, of course, we are the stars, all of them. There ain't no aliens. And instead of unidentified flying air objects, how about forgotten flying objects? Because that's what they are. FFOs, not UFOs. They are FFOs, and everybody knows that. Here's the thing. They have been attacking us for 6,000 years straight and had one specific year that nobody probably wants to believe in me just yet. Until you do more research to validate it all scientifically, if you want to look into it, they had 1 year where they got a chance to get a real good upper hand on us, meaning the oppressive body, because the devil destroyed everybody and kept all of them safe so they can enslave us afterwards, just like they're getting ready to do again with this World War III and these nuclear warheads to AI revolution, AI revolution, AI revolution. I need to tell you all everything I know very fast and soon. So I'm just going to keep on working to tell you the best way I can. And I only have this phone to do so. Don't mean to talk for an hour, but you all need to know a lot of things. The Ezekiel will prophecy. Is it going to be true? I don't think it will be. Because if we balance the oppressive body's mind by force, meaning destroy all of their spiritual egos, their masculine ego and their feminine ego, what will ultimately take over is the natural mind is there, a peace, respect, balance, and progression. And they'll have peace, respect, balance, and progression for all things natural. This is just how I see it happening in spirit, and this is just the attack that I'm going to take. It may work, it may not work, who knows? I know that they can't be reasoned with. And I know in my process of trying to eliminate the darkness in their mind heart spaces, it'll also do the same to my people. Like I said, I'm just taking advantage of the fact that we are all in the same fight at the end of the day. Once I sheathe the sword, cut the devil in half, and bore the sword into the foundation and blow it up like I'm Surtur from Thor Ragnarok or something, with my Asura's Wrath character, what's ultimately going to happen? Restoration, replenishment, restoration, renewal, regeneration, replenishment, restoration, and renewal of the natural foundation within we to manifest physically. If this makes sense to you. One more note. Also, too, in this parable, logical people are like the shield and armor together, meaning the protons and the neutrons in the nucleus of the atom, or the nuclei. The logical people are the protons and neutrons, protons being the armor, the neutrons being the shield. Logical people are within the nucleus, but the sword, the one stabbing in, is the electrons in this parable. What's outside of it? The emotional people. Deciding that the foundation should be an emotional one. You see? The foundation should be a natural one. Divine nature should be our foundation. Divine nature should be our foundation. So, what ultimately needs to happen? Christ's body needs to be summoned within, to vanquish with the power of the sun the evil from out of it. Meaning six face shots to the devil's head, kick her off or kick it off. Pull the sword out of the body, sheathe it. Face the truth. Stop being afraid. Men are being emasculated in large numbers, and we can stop it from happening if we just faced what was causing it to happen and stop it from making it happen. Follow what I'm saying? So, sheathe the sword, cut the devil in two, blow at the foundation, let it restore itself. Then after that, or during that time, what's going to ultimately happen physically, because this is all just internal works, as I said. What's ultimately going to end up happening physically, maybe, Brother Ezekiel, or the Ezekiel will, Brother Nuri Muhammad, your prophecy may come true once everybody is spiritually uplifted to an infinite dimensional thinking mind, as I am destined to get them all to do. I am destined for this. We ain't gonna be the ones setting fire to the planet, they are. And the thing is, because they see us getting on the ship, exploring different options, making a decision for ourselves, is what's gonna provoke them to blow up the world that much more. It ain't gonna be us setting fire to the world. That ain't what we are, Brother Ezekiel, or Brother Nuri. Should it be? We should be defending ourselves against these people. That's what we should be focusing on right now. Not setting fire to our planet to stop who ain't even truly responsible from destroying our lives to destroying our lives.